like this, this ground has to get dry instantly. Because if you start watering these without having the sun on them, they will be dead by night. They will rot off. They will soft off. That fast. And that's why people, and this is a heated bed.
So you know what you need.
This is a heated bed.
You gotta know what
I
you're
have, there's Christmas tree lights. They only sprout in plus 90-degree soil. They're very temperamental. Now, once you get them to that stage, that is 1 week.
1 week?
1 week.
From seed to that?
1 week. No, that's 1 week from
seedling.
Right, out of the ground, from sprout. That is 1 week from seedling. That's how fast they grow.
You would love Dwight Carter.
And now, see, they had, what you need to do is you need to get on the internet. They had this great big write-up about Santa Rosa. They took 10,000 Moringa plants in Santa Rosa here last week before, the 28th. But the problem is, the trees are this tall, and they're yellow and spindly. The problem being, one, I'll show you some more, but you need to cut the trees back. They need to actually be forced to grow girth.
Okay.
What was the name of this tree again?
Moringa.
Moringa.
Yeah, it's right on the card. Moringa.
Okay.
Moringa.
Moringa. It's called Moringa oleifera. Moringa oleifera.
Moringa oleifera.
Yep.
Farah.
Oleifera.
Farah.
Like Pharaoh.
I don't have my hearing aids in.
Yeah, that's what I need. Do you have ringing in your ears?
Yes.
Really?
Tennessee. All my life.
Does it help for tinnitus or?
No.
No.
Just a little bit of it, and then I dumped it on this plant. Look at the new growth on this plant in 1 week.
This right here is new growth.
Yep.
This right here is old growth.
Yep. Look at it. Look how fast it's actually promoting rapid growth.
You want over here, Cheryl?
Rapid. I mean, it's almost more than you can even really wrap your mind around, because the nutrients that come up into the plant draws out of the ground is just amazing.
This is Moringa.
This is Moringa. This is the plant we're treating. This here is Havencia.
This is treated with Moringa fertilizer.
These are cuttings, and we just experiment with things to see what makes it.
So you take this and grind it up and make fertilizer out of it.
Grind the green.
This part, yeah.
The green.
Fresh green. Grind it up, make fertilizer out of it.
And that's what he's treated this
And
other.
that's what. Look
this
at
tree.
This is 1 week ago. You see where I dumped that on there? 1 week ago. Look at the new growth. How rapid. Look how fast.
Now this is a mango?
These are green mangoes. Did you ever have a green mango?
We got mango too.
I cut this one, I cut that one. These have been cut 1 week. Okay, and that row there, of course, I cut the day before yesterday. Okay, and those actually there are going as well. One, they don't need to be this thick, but now that these are 2 weeks old, in 2 more weeks, these trees will be well over your head. 2 weeks.
It's sort of like beans. The more you harvest, the more you get.
The faster you harvest, the more you get. Now you can let this tree go into a full-size tree. We have trees that were over in Calvary. Calvary had originally tried to start a Moringa project. They had a lady there that was doing Moringa. Something happened. She ended up moving to Peru or something, and they let the Moringa project go. So they have trees over there that are 7 years old. They're this big in 7 years. They love it hot. They love it dry. Now, when I was gone, when I had left here, this was all underwater. Actually, I have pictures of when I left here.
Right.
The entire hospital.
I remember the whole thing being underwater.
It was all underwater here about a month and a half ago. But most of the time I was gone, these trees virtually didn't even reproduce.
Because of the flood?
They can't take the water. They just don't. They'll survive. They just won't produce anything.
Okay.
Now that I come back and I had actually recut, you actually, once the tree gets started and you're using it really for leaf production, even though it hasn't reproduced much, a fresh cutting on it makes it regrow faster. It's like alfalfa. You know how to grow alfalfa?
Yeah.
If you don't cut it, once it gets through its threshold of growth, it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
stops growing.
Plaster bloom, that's it.
Right.
You need to harvest.
Right. And there's so many different ways to deal with the moringa and work with the moringa. There's just so much to teach people.
Your purpose is harvesting for either fertilizer or powder. Is that what we're talking about?
All this is just so we can show people what we're doing.
Right.
We can show
What
we
I
have
mean,
extra powder here.
a place producing moringa for.
I think that eventually moringa is going to be produced for the fruit.
Okay.
The fruit will grow 1 meter long and is great. It's similar. They actually, if you take a moringa fruit that's about this big and you chew on it when it's young, tastes like you're eating green bean. It's like a big green bean.
Really?
Seed and everything. Now, once it gets older and starts to dry, okay. Now here's the neat thing. Let's step back into the.
Shade.
Okay.